Picture this. You are standing in the middle of a packed stadium. Thousands of people around you are shouting the same words. The sound vibrates through your chest. Your pulse starts to sync with the rhythm of the crowd. You feel energy rising like a wave. In that moment, you are not just you anymore. You are part of something bigger, louder, stronger. And then it happens. Someone throws something. Someone pushes. Someone breaks a rule. And without fully thinking, you move with the tide. Later, when everything calms down, you ask yourself a terrifying question. Why did I do that? That's not who I am. The uncomfortable truth is this. The crowd can temporarily rewrite who you are. We like to believe that morality is solid, that good people will always act good. But human behavior is not controlled only by personal values. It is shaped by context. And one of the most powerful contexts is the presence of a group. When you are alone, your identity feels clear. You are aware of your name, your reputation, your principles. You think about consequences. You imagine how your actions reflect on you. But inside a crowd, something subtle changes. Psychologists call it deindividuation. Your sense of personal identity weakens. You feel less visible, less accountable, more anonymous. Anonymity is dangerous. When you believe no one can single you out, your internal brakes loosen. The fear of judgment fades. Responsibility spreads across everyone. If hundreds of people are shouting insults, throwing objects, breaking rules, your brain whispers, "It's not just me." This diffusion of responsibility is one of the core reasons good people cross lines. When everyone shares the action, no one feels fully responsible. If a crowd vandalizes a store, each individual feels like just one small drop in a giant wave. The moral weight becomes diluted. There is also the pressure to conform. Human beings are wired to belong. For thousands of years, survival depended on staying within the group. Being rejected meant danger. So your brain is hypersensitive to social signals. When everyone around you is behaving in a certain way, even if it feels wrong, a silent fear rises. If I don't join, I will stand out. I will be judged. I will be isolated. Conformity does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it is just silence. A group laughs at a cruel joke, and you laugh too. A crowd spreads misinformation online, and you share it without checking. A group begins blaming someone unfairly, and you stay quiet. You tell yourself it's not a big deal, but step by step, you move further from your own values. Emotion spreads through crowds like fire. Excitement, anger, fear, outrage. These feelings are contagious. Neuroscience shows that we mirror the emotional states of people around us. If the crowd is furious, your body absorbs that fury. Your rational thinking becomes weaker. Your emotional brain takes control. Decisions become faster, more impulsive. This is why riots can form from small sparks. This is why online mobs escalate within hours. Emotion overrides reflection, and in that state, good people can justify harmful actions because the emotional energy feels overwhelming and urgent. Authority also plays a powerful role. If a leader within the crowd encourages certain behavior, people are more likely to follow. We are conditioned to obey authority figures, especially when others are doing the same. The presence of approval lowers resistance. Another hidden factor is moral licensing. When people see themselves as good, they sometimes unconsciously allow small wrong actions because they believe their overall identity remains positive. Inside a crowd, if you think, "I'm not a bad person," you may permit yourself to go slightly further than you normally would. The line shifts gradually. The most unsettling part is that people rarely feel evil while doing harmful things in a crowd. They feel justified. They feel united. They feel powerful. The crowd provides a shared narrative. We are right. They deserve this. This is necessary. And when a story feels shared, it feels true. History offers countless examples. Ordinary individuals, loving parents, kind neighbors have participated in discrimination, violence, and injustice when swept into collective movements. Not because they were monsters, but because the situation reshaped their perception of responsibility and morality. The digital world has amplified this effect. Online, anonymity is even stronger. A profile picture replaces a face. A username replaces a real identity. In comment sections and social media threads, people say things they would never say in person. They join attacks. They pile on criticism. The crowd becomes virtual, but the psychology remains the same. So, does this mean we are powerless against the crowd? Not necessarily. Awareness is the first defense. The moment you recognize that crowds distort perception, you gain distance from it. When emotions rise in a group, pause. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the pressure to align. Ask yourself, if I were alone, would I still do this? Personal accountability is a shield. Remind yourself that even inside a crowd, your actions are still yours. You cannot dissolve into the group completely. You will live with your choices after the noise fades. It also helps to practice standing apart in small ways. Express a different opinion respectfully. Refuse to laugh at harmful jokes. Verify information before sharing it. These small acts strengthen your moral independence. They train your brain to tolerate social discomfort. The crowd is not always negative. It can inspire courage, compassion, and collective good. People donate together, protest peacefully, support each other together. The same psychological forces that create harm can also create positive change. Unity is not the enemy. Blind unity is. At the core of the crowd effect is a simple truth. Humans are deeply social creatures. Our brains evolved to synchronize with others. That synchronization can lift us to extraordinary heights, or pull us into destructive behavior. The next time you feel swept up by a group, whether in a stadium, on the street, or online, pause for just a second, feel the energy. Notice the pull, and quietly ask yourself, is this action coming from my values or from the crowd's momentum? Because being a good person is not only about what you believe when you are alone. It is about what you choose when the crowd is watching and when it is not.